If your goal is to become financially secure, you will likely attain it. But if your motive is to make money to spend money on the good life, you're never going to make it.
6 years ago, my wife took nothing but an ideal and faith and turned it into a multi-million-dollar business with multiple streams of income. As a woman possessed, she overcame all obstacles and created multiple streams of wealth that has impacted our family for generations to come. From mental health professional to therapist to author to CEO, she is a constant reminder of the grace of God over her life. Get ready to listen to and take notes from Stenell, the money therapist, as she schools you on money, entrepreneurship, and life skills that was not taught. No more excuses. Wake up!
Thank you for that dope introduction, husband. Welcome back to No More Excuses, Wake Up, where we talk about money, entrepreneurship, and life skills that was not taught. I am your host, Stenell Myers, also known as Stenell, the money therapist. This week, we are discussing money with life skills. Yes, we have a duo. Our topic is about Boujee Rich. Yes, let's talk about us people. Boujee rich people, you know what I mean. People that have the nice cars, they could be fancy, the nice houses, the designer clothes, bags, all the different things, the materialistic things out here in this world that a lot of us strive for. But when we think about it and we talk about retirement, things that we need to do and have a plan and have a goal when we retire, because let's be real, everyone, we all do not want to work for the rest of our lives. No matter what you do, you don't want to always work. You want to make sure that you have a plan. So we have these bougie rich people that, and when I say that, I'm not saying it in a negative way. I'm saying it so instead of thinking that we can go out here and get all these fine things and materials and all these different things that we see people on TV and social media portray all of this. But at the end, we have to work for that. We have to work for everything that we have. We have to work to make those car payments. As you know, when it comes to a car payment, I'm not about that life. Like I'm real serious when it comes to a car payment because I experienced it, I tasted, I didn't like the taste, and I just don't do it. What I do instead of making that $537 payment, yes, for me, then Tony, which was $530, and then our son, which was $369, because that was a gift for his graduating college with no debt because he went on a scholarship. So if you add all that money up, that's how much we were paying just in car debt. A part of my journey when I was going through paying off my debt, that was a big chunk. So now, instead of me taking all that money and giving it to these car dealerships, we fully invest. I personally fully invest in my IRA, fully invest every single month. Tony does not fully invest, but he do give, his percentage is a great amount. He did not want to fully invest because he does have a pension. And my children also invest in their IRA, and we're talking about in their 20s. So when I say bougie rich, I want you to understand that a lot of us don't have it. We carrying these mortgages, we carrying these loans, credit cards, car loans, and we have no plan. There's no plan in place. There's no security plan in place. There's just nothing. We're just living. We're living for right now. We're living for today. We're not living for next month. We're not living for next year. We're just living. That is destructive. That is a problem because we don't know what's going to happen with our health. We have no idea what's going to happen down the line. When Tony was diagnosed with cancer in 2013, I was so in shock. I didn't know. I thought he was going to die. That's the first thing that you think. Cancer, he was in stage 2A. And he had Hodgkin's lymphoma. You don't know. You don't know what is going to come up with your health. It is important to plan today for tomorrow. We see people driving around in these fancy cars, especially in Florida. Oh my goodness. I mean, it's cars that I've never seen, never heard of. And you do not know people's economic status. You do not know what is in their pockets. You have no idea. So let's talk about what's in your pocket, Boujee Rich people. Let's talk about that, because if you don't have a plan, and you will get older, you will fail. You have to have a plan. We like going and eating out. Eating out is my biggest, that's my thing. I don't drink, I don't smoke. I'd like to go out. I like to eat out, have a good time, try new things. That's my thing. But even when eating out, that can be a problem if you're not budgeting it. Everything that we do today, right now, has everything to do with later on in our future. We may not think about it, but it does. Even when we go to get coffee, I used to get Starbucks maybe like 3 times a week, because where I lived at in New Jersey, it wasn't much to do. You had a mall, you had a Starbucks. You didn't really have much of anything. Oh, let's go to Starbucks. And that cost, after you spend $6 or $5.50, and you're doing that 3 days a week, and we don't think about that. We don't think about those things. But when you do that 3 days a week, that's a lot. We're talking about like $25. Let's times that by 4. So we're over $100 for the month. And that money could be easily that can be invested. And we don't think about investing. We don't think about what comes after. A lot of times we think that when you retire, you have to retire when you're older, when you're 62, when you're 65. No, you can retire now if you had a plan. There are so many people that tell their stories, that wrote books that I read, that they had invested their money, they started early investing, and they changed their lifestyle. They live in tiny homes. Tony right now is looking at people that build buses, that they're going to live in a bus. People live in RVs. People scale so much so that way they can live the way they want to live. And I tell you, if I had that in me, living in small quarters, if I had it in me, I would do it. But I don't have it in me. Can you imagine how much money that they're saving, and they're happy, and they're traveling the world, and they have a plan? And I mean, they are traveling the world with a plan, looking at House Hunter Internationals, and you'd be like, oh my gosh, these people crazy. But they crazy in their own craziness, in their own creativity, in their own way. Honestly, that's what really made me even want to just really jump into real estate even more, because of what other people do. They say, you know what? I'm going to pack my bags and I'm out of here. I'm going to sell everything that I have and I'm out of here. And that's why ownership is very important, because you can always sell what you have, but you have to have a plan. If you don't have a plan in everything that you do, you will fail. You have to have a plan. Retirement and debt, same thing. Everything that we do in life, it is cost and it's goods. Debt is a major role in our lives. Debt is crazy. My book coming out, whipping debt's ass, because that's major. I want everyone to know how I whip that ass. So debt can definitely leave us strangled and mixed up, because we decided to make these different choices and make these different purchases. And I'm telling you that I am no different from any of you. The only difference that I may have on some people is because of my businesses, my finances, my income. That may be the difference, but that has nothing to do with my mindset. I have to talk to me all the time when it comes to purchases, large purchases such as high end. It has to be a plan for that. Just because you have it don't mean you should do it. So when we talk about debt and we talk about retirement and we talk about bougie people, It all goes hand in hand because what you do today will always affect your tomorrow. When you have a car and you have a car note, you have to pay for any type of maintenance when a car breaks down. You have to pay for gas. And we know these gas prices right now is ridiculous. That's an expense. Some people are selling their cars because it's just an expense and it don't make sense. We spoke to someone in Key West and he said, I'm just going to purchase a scooter because that's the thing out here. I mean, that is their culture and it's cheaper. People are just thinking, what can they do? And they are doing it. Now, today, in 2022, next year in 2023, are your finances going to be the same? Are you going to have a goal towards retirement, or are you going to still be living this lifestyle of being fake? Yes, I'm calling you fake. Being fake bougie, walking around here just living this life that you can't afford. And when I say can't afford, let me quickly break that down. If you do not have the amount of money, this is my personal motto, and I don't talk about this too much. When you do your budget, and a lot of us do, a lot of us don't, whatever's coming in, your money, your revenue, whatever's coming in, when you subtract everything, your expenses, everything that you subtract, and whatever's left over, your net, whatever is left over, that net that you have, so everything you have, your fund money, everything, that net that you have left over, you should be utilizing that net to pay off your debt. If you're around here and you have all these different cars and you have a car, house, and all these different things, and you don't have money in the bank, you can't afford the car. You can't afford these different lifestyles. I am a true believer that before you even think about going on vacation, and if your vacation costs $2,700, you should have $2,700 in the bank. Don't spend what you don't have. You know, there's people that say, okay, pensions and Social Security and all of that, that's great and grand, but we don't know what's going to happen in life. We have no idea if there is going to be Social Security or pension. We just don't know. But what we do know right now is that we can get our booty in the kitchen and we can make a cup of coffee. We know that. We know that we can go and buy a whole pack of Keurig coffee cup for $30, and we can go and make a cup of coffee every day, and we just saved $70 for the month. So you have to think outside that box, because a lot of things that we like to do, we can't afford to do. And that's why we walking around here being fake. That's why we walk around here being bougie fake, and can't afford nothing. And I'm telling you, there are people driving around in these cars and they are broke as hell. They are broke. Don't have no gas money, riding around trying to steal from Paul, Peter, John, the whole Bible, because they don't have it. What was important to them was this car. And that's the problem. This car payment, $300, $400, $500, we are riding around in our retirement. And that's bougie fake. If you don't have a retirement and you riding around in a car, you're fake. And I say that in love. Let's get it together, my smart people. Let's get it together. And I sound preachy, but let's stop being bougie fake. So what we want to do is we want to make sure that we are having set goals. We have a budget, and that when we write down those goals and we write down that budget, not saying you can't have your coffee, maybe instead of having it 3 days a week, you have it 1 day. And when you scale down, and let me tell you, I interviewed a lot of people that came on my show. Well, not a whole lot of people, but I learned a lot. And I remember talking to someone, and she said when she scaled down her food, she said when she scaled all that down, she came up with an amount of money. She was like, wow, I'm really not broke. Like, I can do this. I can save this. And so we have to look at that. We have to look at that dynamic, because we are going to get old. We are going to retire. We want to. You see people, working in Walmart and Target, and they pushing carts, and it's really a lot in Walmart, and they're older, or they're at fast food chains and they're taking out the garbage, and a lot of times that's not something that they want to do, but they need something to supplement their income. It's sad. And you don't want that to be your story. So let's rewrite your story with No More Excuses Wake Up. Let's rewrite it. So now you're going to figure out your money, your finances, have a budget, have goals. Think about, what does debt mean to you? Do you care about debt? Because once you define debt, what does it mean to you? That is really a question. If you don't like debt, then beat that ass. Like I did. I definitely beat that ass. I whipped the hell out of debt. If you don't like it, don't create it. But if you like it, hey, stay bougie, fake, stay that way. Boujee, fake, fake, bougie, however you want to say it, stay that way. But if you really like, dang on, like this is just too much, I don't want this no more, go to my website, Stenell the Money Therapist, download my budget spreadsheet and get to work and utilize the budget. It is there for you. It is free. All you exchanging is an email. That is it. It is free. But that budget is real. And that's one of the chapters in my book. The budget is real. Seriously. Because I was literally drowning in debt. I was upset. I was confused. I was everything. I share this in my book. And when you don't plan everything that you're going to do, you're going to look back and be like, dang, what'd I do with that money? I'm telling you. I am telling you, because the more money you get, the more money you will spend. But you have to be disciplined. And if you don't have a discipline in you, there's going to be problems. And if you are my age group and you have children in their 20s, and my son is 28, our daughters are 22 and 16, to install this in them, it's like constant work. When I was 22, I already had my son. I had my son at 19, so I had to quickly understand life quick. I don't want you riding around in your retirement and even in your house. And that's going to be another topic. I'm going to really dig into mortgages because I don't like them. I love my house. I love my house. This is my dream home. But I do not like mortgages because I don't like paying money. And that's my mindset. Like, I got to pay you what? I got to do what? And I don't like them. So that's why my goal is to have this house that we bought in 2020 paid off in 3 years. My goal is by the time I'm 50. And that is my goal. And I'm going to continue to share that journey to see if that is something that happened. And the faith that I have and the hard work that I do, I'm going to make it happen with the grace of God. But y'all fake bougie fake people, we got to get it together. So let's rewrite our plans, our goals, our budgets, and let's get it together, people. I am not saying, let me be clear, I am not saying that you cannot have all these fancy things, cars, because trust me, I love my house. I am not saying that. But what I am saying is, if you have them, like I have my house, I fully 100% invest in everything. My IRA, my company's SEF IRA, everything is 100% invested. Emergency fund, life insurance, every single thing is important. Because when you do not have these things in place, you're really broke. For instance, my husband, all he talk about is getting a Corvette every single day. Oh my goodness, a Corvette. I don't care how much money we make. I don't care how much money that comes in this house. If this house is not paid off and we owe a bank, there's no Corvette until the house is paid off. So what does that mean? That means strive with all that you have to pay off this debt. There's no Corvette. Why? And could we afford the payment? Just because you can don't mean you should. Again, because that payment, again, can go on the principal of the house. I just did a video when I do my videos on Instagram explaining my money tip videos that I could have made a purchase, love high end. I could have made a purchase at a high end store. The shoes was $1,100, but for what? And that's what I'm thinking. Pause. Take that money, put it on the principal, figure it out. So there's no Corvettes in this home until the mortgage is paid. Why pay $500 or $600 or whatever? I don't know what it is. But why do that when you can put that on the principal? So again, let's reevaluate our thoughts, our goals, the budget, our plan, our life for the future. So let's go out there and slay. All right, y'all. Y'all know what to do. Go and be that person that is not bougie and that is not fake, but have a plan for their future and have goals with a budget. Y'all know what I always say. No more excuses. Wake up. Thank you for listening to No More Excuses, Wake Up. If you love the show, please subscribe, rate, and review on iTunes or Spotify. To learn more about me and my different agencies and what I do, go to StenellMyersEnterprises.com. While you're there, check out Money Therapy Institute and watch my video where you will see me doing a little acting, showing you how I fought and kicked down closed doors. You can also click on Stenell the Money Therapist and get my free budget spreadsheet. And of course, you can email me at contact@StenellTheMoneyTherapist.com. I'm also on social media on Facebook at Stenell the Money Therapist and Instagram at Stenell the Money Therapist. No more excuses. Y'all know what y'all need to do. Wake up. Hey, smart people. I have a 3-month one-on-one personal or business coaching program. As you all know, I paid off $50,000 in debt in 1 year. I will teach you how I stayed out of debt using my burner method and personalized spreadsheet I created to fit my lifestyle and keep me on track. You will learn how to understand your money communication style using my financial treatment plan. Also, if you own a small business and you feel stuck with cash flow or feel disorganized, I teach business owners and self-employed entrepreneurs such as yourself to financially maximize your money, build wealth using your business income, and retire working on the business while your business continues to run, such as myself. You can book a call with me. The link is in the show notes.